Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today's topic is AI-generated art with InvokeAI and SDXL. Imagine turning your wildest ideas into breathtaking high-definition images. From digital paintings of your favorite book characters to creating those viral fantasy characters drawn by AI videos, it's all possible. And with the new SDXL model, you get better proportions, a higher chance at 5 fingers per hand, and even text in images. We'll be checking out InvokeAI, which features a web UI interface for working with Stable Diffusion. The latest release, along with SDXL support, also adds ControlNet, dynamic prompts, the ability to create galleries, and more. But first things first, we need to install it. If your computer meets the hardware requirements described in the installation guide linked below, continue this walkthrough to install it locally. And if not, no worries. We got you covered with a video on how to run InvokeAI in the cloud, linked in the upper right corner. Since the computer we're working with has an NVIDIA card, we'll need to install the CUDA toolkit, followed by Python, which can be installed from the Windows Store, and we'll make sure to have long paths enabled, which can be done in the registry editor. Let's quickly check we have the requirements we need. I'll also get Microsoft's C and C++ libraries because I never installed them, but there's a good chance you have them already. The installation process for Windows is straightforward. To install the latest release version, download the zip file from the official repository, unpack it, and run the file install.bat. In the first step, we get to select the install folder. Next, select your graphics card. You can leave the default options, agree with the responsible AI license, and let the installer do the work. SDXL uses 2 models in the pipeline: the base model that generates the initial image and a refiner model. The base model can be used alone, but to make full use of SDXL's capabilities, we'll download both. I'll make sure to have SDXL, and I'll let the installer download Dreamshaper from Civit AI because I like the images it produces. You can also add LoRa's in this step, although it's easy to add models from the web UI too. Select Apply Changes and exit to continue the installation process. While waiting for the installation to finish, I like looking at sample images for the models I selected, to see which parameters worked well, and to get inspiration from the beautiful images other users generated. To start the app, just run the invoke.bat file from the installation folder you selected earlier. In the text menu, select one to start the web UI. Options 9 and 7 work great for upgrading, but this time we got the latest version with the installer. Copy the link from the output to your browser to view the web UI. To import models in the web UI, click the model icon on the left-hand side and select the Import Models tab. Then paste the path to the folder where you downloaded the Safe Tensors files in the model location field. Or simply paste the download link. I usually use text to image and image to image to generate most images. Before getting started, I'll go to Settings and enable the Nodes editor. Now let's see how SDXL works for generating a test image. Here we can select the base and refiner model. I'll use a simple prompt, but if you have very specific image ideas, InvokeAI's prompting guide is definitely worth a read. Now, if I wanted to follow recommendations, I'd try running SDXL with simple prompts first. As the Stability AI blog says, there's no need for descriptions such as masterpiece. Then, when we look at the 2 prompt boxes here, we have the base and style prompts. The style text gets added to the prompt text when generating the image. There's also the option to keep them glued together when passing to the refiner. It's a good idea to keep the style and negative prompts shorter, and leave the lengthy description in the subject prompt. I use the FP32 Precision, but if you're using FP16, it's recommended to get a VAE file. The refiner start slider selects at which point in the generation of the base image the refiner gets to kick in. If you like to have most of the base image generated, you can set it between 0.7 and 0.8. It also helps to set the number of steps for the refiner to roughly the number of steps left to finish generating the base image. Naturally, I'm not great at following rules, so I'll do the exact opposite at least a few times to see what the model spits out. As far as schedulers go, I just like using ancestral for people and non-ancestral for landscapes, architecture, interiors, and so on. We can select the image size here. I'm going for the 16:9 ratio for a wallpaper. A good starting image size is 1024 x 1024, or a rectangle that has about the same number of pixels. This is because SDXL was trained on images with about 1024 squared pixels. I'll click Invoke and go grab a coffee. Okay, so the images look pretty good. Now let's kick it up a notch with Dream Shaper. I find watching the images render very satisfying. These turned out even better. Before we wrap it up, let's upscale one of the images to turn it into a wallpaper. This is a quick task, and here we have it. A high-resolution, colorful cyberpunk city. That's it for today's video, folks. InvokeAI has more great features to explore, and now that you have the app up and running, it's time to unleash your creativity and make some mind-blowing art. Our next video is all about using AI for short videos. So if you're interested, check it out here. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.